Just to give you kind of an idea of what goes with this project, this is the third year in a row that me and Miss Rebecca Potter have collaborated to bring and get a grant and do some things. The last 2 years we've done documentaries and worked on those. We have become very focused on trying to record oral history in our area. And the title of this one, Promise Surrounded by Poverty, that's our children. Our children are our promise. And that, just like somebody said earlier, that, we're in an area of Appalachia that we're told all the time that we're impoverished. And I think that has become, in many cases, an excuse in a lot of ways. Or, if you go back, and we found 2 years ago when we started talking to some people oral history-wise in our area, interviewing them, that the poverty they were in was probably a lot more debilitating than ours is. But everybody lived that way. They had a perseverance to overcome that. Now, we need to take the opportunity to tell our story and not let somebody else tell it for us. And there's a lot of great things going on in our communities, from our government leadership to our kids to our community organizations, that have not had an access or a voice with how they have overcome and how they have been the promise and the hope for our children here. And that's one of the things that I look forward to every year, coming to this in the fall and coming in the spring, is that there's so many great things going on in southeastern Kentucky, in our region, that it bothers me that there's somebody outside this area saying that, we have no, how do we persevere? They can't persevere. They can't do it. And so that's what, this is a documentary just hoping to talk to people again and continue to build on the oral history that's in our area and present history, and see what are we doing to overcome the barriers that we have, and to quit using poverty as an excuse. Yes, it exists. We know that it is a barrier, but there's a lot of other barriers out there as well, and every community has barriers, and there's a lot of things that we can do to overcome that, and we're trying to just talk to people, and then we're doing podcasts and also documentaries. We added the podcast part this time. Ms. Potter's going to talk about that in her afternoon session. But the podcast thing, so many of our children, they like that little short hit, something that just holds with them for a short period of time. And that's one of the things that we found with the podcast, and they can get that, or we hope from our experience with the children, that they can listen to that where they're going someplace, because our generation now that we're dealing with, they've always got earphones in their ears and they're walking around, and if we can get them to listen to maybe something really relevant to their life that they have right now, then that's a positive. And also that we're involving about 30 kids in the process of working with the technology, with both audio, visual, interviewing people, writing scripts, and all those types of things that are real 21st century learning. It's technology based. We've been very fortunate through this grant over the last 3 years to be able to buy some nice equipment. Our board has finally kicked in and is buying some things for us to really increase the process and make us more efficient in producing those things. So I think it's real promising. It's been great for us. The first year we did a documentary, and me and Miss Potter both really we took more hands-on approach, because it was new. It's new to the students. It was new to us. Last year we kind of let more with the students just run with it and gain their own experience, and that was really rewarding. And this year we want to have that again and have them more involved in their pieces, because what we found in the process was it was tying those children to their community. It was making them value their community more, because there was a lot of things that they were finding out that they didn't know about their grandparents or about a local leader or somebody that they'd seen all their lives, and they didn't know that he stormed the beaches of Normandy in 1944 on D-Day. They just knew him as an old man that had always been around and was a really good person. So that's what we hope to do. We hope to build on a sense of community and to have community outreach with it. Give the students an opportunity to tie back to their community, have a little bit more pride in it, and also to realize that, or gain the knowledge of how to use the equipment that is